Whew. Hey everybody, hey, what's going on? Good evening, good morning. Welcome to a brand new show of the Daily Mind Podcast. Thank you once again for joining me today. In case you guys have missed it, earlier I did a show. I woke up and did a bonus episode, which was unscheduled, and I wanted to, I don't know, I like doing shows in the mornings. The reason why I do them in the evenings is because of work, but because I didn't have to work today. And I, got up, got some rest, and I was like, I want to do a show today in the morning. So that's what I did. Knocked out the show. It was about, it was based on one of the segments that I normally do on Mondays. Is there such thing as a stupid question? Which we all know that there is a such thing as a stupid question. So of course I went on Quora. I read over some questions and answers and stuff like that, and did that for about an hour. Had a couple of my regulars on the show, and the rest was history. And of course, now I'm doing my regular scheduled show, the show that I actually had scheduled, knocking it out right now. Anyway, thanks for stopping by, passing by, whatever you're doing. Where I'm at now, it's Friday evening. For a lot of you passing by, it's definitely Thursday. But don't worry, the weekend's around the corner. You ain't missing anything. But other than that, just chilling, starting my weekend off right. Our car finally just arrived here. So that's, we've been waiting for a minute for this thing. And we went to go pick it up today. In case you guys haven't noticed, I'm stationed here in Korea. It's a different bag here. And we have to wait for the car to get here. We inspected it. Everything is good. And yeah, the rest is history. So we got the car here. The weekend is starting. I don't have any major plans. I'm just chilling this weekend. But, knocking out a show whenever I can. Like today. Today's episode is inspired by some recent thoughts. Now, my wife and I, we've been discussing buying a home. When we get back to the States, use the VA, all that stuff, get a home. It's about time. I mean, we're not getting any younger and stuff like that, so we might as well, rent. I mean, stop renting. I'm tired of renting. Nothing wrong with renting, but, you get to a point, at some point, you get a home. Not everybody's built to be a homeowner. I know I'm comfortable with being in apartments. I love apartments. But, I mean, for all the work I've put in being in the military, you might as well get something out of it. You might as well get a home. So, before we left Tennessee, in Clarksville, there's a big uptick in houses being built. Now, all these townhouses, they look fancy, all built like shit to me anyway. But they're building a lot of these houses. And one thing we've come to learn about a lot of these establishments is that they are ran by homeowners associations, as you guys know as HOAs. Not a big fan of HOAs. Just imagine someone trying to tell you how to live, own your home that you're paying or you're owning, and you got this little body panel that goes around and tell everybody in the area how to live in your own home. I can't imagine. And I told her, if we buy a home, we are not moving somewhere where there is a governing body called the Homeowners Association, which I think is stupid, telling us how to fucking live in our home. No, we're not doing that. So today's episode is going to be on the homeowners associations. Who are these whack jobs? What do they do, and why do they exist? And of course, I got a shitload of stories to read over, some horror stories about people who lived in HOAs. But to better understand the HOA, the Homeowners Association, we got to dig into why they exist. What is their purpose? Are they like some sort of a union for homeowners? That to me is what it is. And they come off, from what I've heard, as if they're trying to help you with your home. They're not helping. And skinless chicken nugget, I'm not quite early. This is the time that I said I was gonna kind of start. I don't know if you understand this. They have quiet hours where I'm at in this building, and I'm pretty sure these walls can talk. I do have neighbors on this side. I got neighbors everywhere on this floor. It's like 4 or 5 families that actually live on this floor, to include us. I try to be considerate, you know what I mean? But this is a normal time I would do it. And like I said, it was going to be early for you guys. I'm not going to do this show at 2 a.m. over here. If I didn't have a neighbor next door to me or whatever, that'd be different. But got to be a little bit considerate. Anywho, thanks for joining. Skinless Chicken Nugget is an executive producer and one of my co-hosts of this show. I have a lot of them. Pretty early where he is, I understand. Today's episode, we're talking about homeowners associations and why they exist. Again, I am not a big fan of HOAs. I think they're so redundant, especially telling people how to own their own home, that they're paying thousands of dollars in taxes and in mortgages, and you're telling them how to fucking fix their mailbox. Yeah, HOA is useless. It is extremely useless. I don't even know why people pay into this. I don't even know why. Just to say you have a home, but you have other people telling you can't grow a tree in front of your house or your mailbox can't be pink. Nobody wants to deal with that shit. Anyway, I opened up the website Investopedia. I had to find what was the best website to better explain what is an HOA. A lot of us don't really deal with it. A lot of people don't even live in houses. But, if you're going to buy a house, invest in a house, stay away from shit that has HOAs. I don't care how nice the neighborhood is or how nice the house look. Fuck that. Stay away from that shit. You will save yourself a lot of trouble. So, Investopedia wrote an article back on July 27th. It was reviewed by Leah D. Urado and fact-checked. We got to fact-check shit, people, by Susan Kvlog. Nice name. What is a homeowners association and how does it work? So what I want to do is I want to break it down before I get into these crazy stories. Now, Skinless Chicken, you said, I think if you pay HOA, it should cover like trash, cutting your grass, and making it look green, and having to hate the neighborhood. No, I do honestly think some HOAs do contribute to that. However, though, I think HOAs are kind of, to me, they remind me of unions. If you work a union job, you pay union dues, and it offers extra protection for your job. So the employer can't really fire you because you're paying for this extra protection. It's like paying for lawyers to stay at your job and not be fired so unfairly. But anyway, homeowners associations, what are they, and how does it work? All right, so this story breaks it down. I'm going to read through as much as possible, make it make sense, all right? So what is a homeowners association? What is an HOA? It says here that a homeowners association is an organization in a subdivision, planned community, or condominium building that makes and enforces rules for the properties and residents. Homeowners associations are run by a board of directors. Can you believe that? And typically collect monthly or annual fees to pay for common area maintenance and upkeep of the facility. So yeah, Chicken, you're right. The HOA, that's, I guess, one benefit. Make sure your trash is picked up and your lawn is mowed and watered and shit like that. Because they hire private companies to come in and do this. But of course, collectively, if everybody wants this service done, you gotta pay into it. I got that part. Now, those who purchase property within an HOA's jurisdiction automatically become members. So you don't got to sign anything or whatever. If you move into a home in an area that has an HOA, you are automatically in. You are in the club. That's some fruity ass club. Some associations can be very restrictive about what members can do with their properties. Others give residents more freedom. I've heard more often than not that HOAs give you a hell of a lot less freedom. In fact, there was a case where this guy bought a Rivian electric truck, and the HOA said you couldn't keep that truck in your own driveway because there was one common thing that was associated with this particular HOA neighborhood was that nobody had pickup trucks. So they seen the pickup truck as an eyesore. Everybody had like sedans and minivans, the perfect suburbia look. And I guess when they saw this pickup truck, even despite it being electric, they were just like, no, we're not doing that. And that became a whole big fight. Now, some of the key takeaways it says here is that, number one, a homeowners association is an organization that makes and enforces rules and guidelines for subdivision, planned community, or condominiums. HOA members are the residents of the subdivision, community, or building. Some communities require a mandatory membership for individuals who purchase property in the zone. Homeowners associations are run by a board of directors and typically collect monthly or annual fees. And homeowners associations may impose fines on non-compliant homeowners. So, for example, if everybody's mailbox is black and you decide to want to paint your mailbox and you don't want to change it back to the default color, they can fine you for that. Skinless, you said, I had an HOA tell me I couldn't have my pet giraffe and his name was Jeff. Okay, yeah, you see, I think I have to give a point to the HOA for that one. I mean, you shouldn't have a giraffe. First of all, why the fuck do you have Jeffrey the Toys R Us giraffe in your goddamn yard to begin with? What are you, Steve Irwin? You got like all types of pets and shit in your backyard. I think there's some boundaries there. Don't test the HOA on that shit because they'll definitely call that shit out. I swear I can't stand them. It says homeowners associations are usually formed within communities or neighborhoods of single-family homes or multiple-unit buildings such as townhouses, condominiums, blah, blah, blah. And they are composed of and run by community residents. So think of like a PTA, a Parent Teachers Association, right? A group of people that get together and they talk about, and you know what they do? They don't just talk about how to make the place better. They gossip about the neighbors, their dogs, their yards, their kids. They just get together and they're like, okay, how can we tell Thomas that he can't have a pink flamingo in front of his house with an upside down pineapple? That's the kind of things they get into and they talk shit. Now, Skinless, you said, nah, for real though, I hate having to have permission to do anything to the house you own. Tell me about it. And they think that they're doing you a service with this. They're not. But see, people sometimes, for the sake of price, location, and maybe the market, they find somebody that has an HOA and they figure, oh, it's no big deal. I'm part of an HOA. I'm part of something big. No, you're not. You're just a part of an annoying swarm of bees. It is not fun. If you're part of an HOA, then that's dirty work, man. Now, an HOA usually has a board of directors of governors. These groups are elected to enforce and oversee the HOA's rules and regulations. An HOA typically describes its rules as restrictive covenants in a document called the Declaration of Covenants, Conditions, and Restrictions, CC&Rs. Jesus Christ, really? Come on, man. It's like a damn cult. If you think about it, just like a cult. And yeah, they basically are a gang. I mean, HOAs is basically a gang, people. I mean, that goes without saying. Like, come on, man. Like I said, I can't get jiggy with it. I just can't get jiggy with it. HOAs, come on now. These CC&Rs set certain conditions for owners about the maintenance of their properties. These sometimes include structural restrictions such as type of fences or landscapes that's allowed. They may also include more minor aesthetic choices like the color or paint of the house. Yes, fencing is a really big fucking deal when it comes to HOAs. And it's usually the neighbors that complain. Like, in fact, it was a funny story that helped inspire this episode. Was a guy, they were complaining about his yard or whatever, something with the fencing. So imagine a picket fence, right? He doubled it. He put an additional picket fence over the top of the original picket fence to like kind of troll the neighbors. And now the neighbors are complaining like, well, it's an eyesore. I can't see, it takes away from the aesthetic. Well, maybe if you would have shut the fuck up, Brad, maybe perhaps he would have not done that shit. Like, stacking a fence on top of a fence. And what's this thing you're saying about Jeff Bezos' fence? What is it made out of, like Amazon boxes or some shit? I mean, I don't know, but yeah, they have a book when it comes to HOAs about the do's and the don'ts. Like you got to read over all this, and you got to comply with all this. You can't paint a house without the HOA's permission. You can't put up a fence without the HOA's permission. You can't even put yard decoration. They even complain about Christmas lights. I've heard stories where they complain about Christmas lights. Now, Chicken, Skinless, you said it's so tall, it's illegal, but he just pays fees every month to keep it up. Yeah, eventually the HOA will cave in. They will cave into certain things. If you stand your ground on certain things, they will cave into it, but they'll charge you extra. They're like, all right, motherfucker, you want to sit there and be stupid? All right, you could keep your little fence, but you're going to pay extra for that little fence, or whatever the case. CC&R set conditions for owners about the maintenance of their properties. These sometimes include structure restrictions such as type of fences and landscapes. All right, I've already read that part. I sound like a broken record. All right, let's move on to the next part. Hold on, let me close that out. All right, a CC&R document may also outline the penalties for for violating the guidelines in the agreement. Now, these penalties can take shape of fees or forced compliance. They can even be as drastic as litigation in some cases. Now, Skinless, you said, example, how if you have enough money, you can bend the law. Yeah, for sure. An HOA, they can be a little powerful little fucking group, though, but man. Now, here are some of the HOA fees. Now, hopefully, like some of you guys in the audience, whoever's passing by, probably lives and owns a home in an HOA. If not, these are some things that is associated in terms of fees. Some HOAs can wield significant financial and legal power over the property owners in their zone. HOAs collect monthly and annual HOA fees that depend on several factors such as type of property, number of properties in the group, location, amenities offered, and operating expenses. Just imagine, these motherfuckers are the mafia. They're literally a mafia. Skinless, you said, what if an HOA didn't allow certain people in the neighborhood? Oh, there's some HOAs that are a little bit biased. Yes, they are. I've heard stories of HOAs getting a little skittish about particular certain groups that come into the neighborhood. I mean, just think about it. There's probably HOAs down south and other places in the US that are just like this, that they are restrictive over the type of people. Or like, for example, let's say you're running around in the neighborhood. Let's say you jog, right? You're a jogger. You don't even live in the area, but it's a nice area you want to jog in. Yeah, they'll call the cops on you. They don't give a fuck. Call the cops on you. The fees are typically $200 to $400 per month, these HOA fees. But they can range anywhere from less than $100 to upwards to $10,000 in luxury neighborhoods or communities. This sounds like some Monopoly shit. So let's say you live in one of these goddamn high rises behind me and there's an HOA in there. They could charge you damn near $1,000 just that's not even including your rent and your mortgage or whatever you're paying, your lease. That's not even included. And yes, if you're jogging in a ski mask, first of all, nobody should be jogging in a ski mask whatsoever. You are automatically looking suspect if you're out there jogging in a fucking ski mask. Anyway, HOA fees also often contribute to the association's reserve fund, which is set aside from major renovation projects or emergency use. In addition to regular fees, HOAs can also impose special assessments on homeowners when the association lacks sufficient reserves to pay for unexpected repairs or common areas such as sidewalks or parking lots, which means they could charge you additional fees for shit that just needs to get done. The HOA's board is usually responsible for the organization's finances, and it oversees the collection and management of funds. Along with setting dues and assessments, the board can slap fines on homeowners who break the rules or damage the common areas. HOAs can also place a lien on a property if a homeowner falls seriously behind on their dues. That's bullshit. So you mean to tell me you could be on point with all your house payments, but as soon as you don't pay the HOA their money, they can put a lien on your house. They could take your house away. That's how much power they have. No HOA should have that type of power. I don't know who's allowing this shit. To me, that's a racket. It is a racket that they can even allow to do that. They could take your house because you didn't pay a fee. And meanwhile, you're paying all your house payments, your utilities, your taxes, everything. But as soon as you don't pay the HOA, your shit's gone. Just like that. That's bogus work. That is crazy. It says most HOAs are incorporated, so they're subject to state laws. Some states consider condominium-based HOAs to be distinct entities from HOAs. However, all right, I'm gonna skip some of this other jargon here. Let's get to some things, little simple things. As of 2023, there are 365,000 HOAs in the United States. That is scary work. That's just going to make it much easier for me to skim out where I'm going to buy a house at. There are 365,000 HOAs in the U.S. as of 2023, according to the Foundation for Community Association Research. That number is expected to increase by 3,000 in 2024. About 75.5 million Americans reside in a community-associated neighborhood or property. People, I feel bad for you. Now, this might work out for you. Maybe it works out for you. Maybe. But I'm not living in no HOA. I don't want to deal with that shit. Nobody's going to tell me where I could put my pineapple on the door. Now, I'm fucking with you. I don't rock no pineapple on my door. But you get the idea. Nobody's going to tell me to do that. Now, it says the advantages and disadvantages, because don't get me wrong, some of what I read so far is advantageous. You know, the fees keep up with the property. You don't ever have to hire somebody to mow your lawn. You don't ever have to hire somebody to water your grass. You don't have to ever find somebody to, fix the crack in your sidewalk. That's covered. Now, of course, advantages. But there are also disadvantages as well. Now, the HOA provides regulations and guidelines for its members. Now, these standards are upheld to preserve and enhance communities' property values, because this is what it really comes down to. Normally, when somebody starts doing some wild, weird shit with their house, that is usually the first complaint. Property values, because certain neighborhoods are kept to a certain aesthetic. So therefore, everything is dress right dress. I know that's kind of a military term, but you get the idea. Everything kind of looks the damn same. But as soon as you start getting radical with your house and start putting shit on there that doesn't look like everybody else, that becomes a problem. Then people are saying, well, that's an eyesore. It takes away from the neighborhood. It drops the value of my property. Where's the proof that it actually drops the value of your property? People just talk all types of nonsense. All right, anyway, the guidelines are often appearance and oriented, so they deal with regulations for the cleanliness of the property, the condition of the property, and any repairs that are done to the property. Now, the guidelines for HOAs are usually designed to help ensure a uniform appearance for all the properties, including the association zones. Now, Chicken Skinless, you said I should make my own HOA, and you said the HOA said I couldn't have a chokey in the house. They don't really care that's the funny part. They don't really care about too much of what's going on in your house. But they do give a shit about what's happening on the outside. And if you do have a chokey closet in your house, you probably are going to go to jail, locking people in the chokey. And people, in case you don't know what the hell the chokey is, if you've seen Matilda, you know exactly what the chokey is. All right, don't act stupid, don't act new. All right, the HOA management will typically provide additional services for its members in exchange for their HOA fees. Now, these are some of the things that you get when paying those fees. Things like, for example, landscaping. You get parking lots, guaranteed parking lots, swimming pools, tennis courts, party spaces, and snow removal. Now, maybe to the elderly, the snow removal thing may seem like a plus, but landscaping, I'm not a big fan of mowing the lawn, so that might help in some in an instance. But I tell you what, I'd rather mow my own lawn than pay HOA to do it for me. I'm not doing that. Now, some HOA fees may also cover the cost of trash collection and certain utilities. Now, oddly enough, the place we were renting in Clarksville, we had to pay a separate city fee for trash removal, but it doesn't mean we were in an HOA, because every house on that block looked different. We didn't live in an HOA. Our neighbors had pink flamingos in one yard. There was a fucking O'Reilly Auto Parts happening in another fucking driveway. There was all types of shit. You know what I mean? Let's see now, some of the disadvantages. Yeah, Stinky Pinky was our garbage pickup. We had to pay a fee for that. Now, some of the disadvantages of an HOA, because I've already just read the advantages. Now, of course, where the good, there's the bad. One disadvantage of an HOA is the high cost of the association fees. This can act as a deterrent for some prospective buyers. The HOA rules and regulations can also seem unreasonable, arbitrary, or too restrictive for some homeowners who may want the freedom to customize their properties. People, if you're one of those people that like to pimp out your house, Christmas decorations, there's even some HOAs that are bitchy about Christmas decorations, holiday decorations. They're just like, no. HOA board members are normally volunteers, and they may not be properly trained to manage real estate. That's a big disadvantage. People that think they know homes because you own one don't know shit. They deal with complex financial issues or unite a disparate group of people for a common cause. The leadership of HOAs must reach a consensus when they're making decisions about maintenance and upgrades, so it's also possible that there may be conflicts among HOA members who disagree. All right, pros: set and enforce community rules. Okay. That's all right. HOAs will keep your community a little bit safe because they know. That's another thing too. They know everybody coming in and out of that place. You know. Now, if you have family coming over your house, I think in some cases you have to let the HOA know you got family coming over and you got people staying. You have to let them know that. Another pro. Oh, my light went out again. I apologize. I have a short in my little stand light. I don't know. I got to get a new stand. I'm trying. Yeah. Anyway, protect property values, because that's what it's really all about, property values. That's why they want you to keep a certain aesthetic on how the house look. It has to look a certain way. You know, you can't just put anything you want on the house. They provide services, amenities, and facilities, and offer self-governance. Now, the bad cons about it is that they impose fees, dues, and assessments, maintain restrictive regulations, operate inefficiently, and may be run amateurishly or ineptly. Because again, people in HOAs are just people who are volunteers that don't know nothing about real estate, property value, or anything of the like, and they just join in. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. All right, let me see. Now, here's an example of an HOA. It says individual homes may conflict with their HOAs. Now, one issue in particular relates to the installation of solar panels. HOA boards often don't like them, fearing that they hurt property values. They're allowed to forbid homeowners from adding them to residents in 23 states. So yeah, you can't even put a solar panel on top of your house. You want to save electricity? Nah. HOA is like, nah, I don't like that. I don't want that on top of the house. And they'll tell you don't do it. Now, Skinless, you said, is HOA the same as people in the neighborhood, the board? It depends. Because there's some, all right, no, you said people in the neighborhood, the board. No, so, I mean, the principles are the same. You know what I mean? Like a community watch thing. They're essentially the same. Homeowners associations deal with people who own homes. In the neighborhood, on the other hand, it's kind of the same, but they're not governing the way people do their homes. They're just the overall neighborhood, you know, crime, whatever the case, shit like that. What are the pros and cons of being in the HOA? I think I've read some of that. What legal powers? I think this is a really important one. What kind of legal powers do an HOA have? According to this, it says individual HOAs have varying levels of legal powers depending on how they were designed. They generally have the legal authority to create and enforce community policies. However, though, such as whether to allow smoking pets, not smoking the pets, no, like smoking pets or rentals in the building. All right, HOAs also decide on budgets for the building and have the authority to charge monthly or one-time fees for their members. Now, they can also impose a range of penalties if a member refuses to pay these fees or to comply with the community. All right, Scanlon, you said I had a neighbor unalive themselves. HOA gave him a fine for not asking for permission. Get out of here with that shit. Come on, get out of here. I wouldn't put it past, though. I would not put it past. Let's see here. I'm trying to get people on the show. It's kind of hard at this time of night, whatever. But in case you're passing by, whatever, we're talking about homeowners associations. Not everybody's with them. Some people don't click with them. Some people are cool with them. I'm not a fan, so we're talking about some things to learn about the HOAs, and of course, I'm going to go over some horror stories of homeowners who had to deal with this nonsense. All right, so the bottom line real quick about the HOA. Now, it says owning a home comes with many rights and responsibilities as such, right? But you may also be part of the homeowners association if you own a townhome or condo or a part of a specific community. So I think homeowners in the future, you probably need to research of where you're going and whether or not it's a HOA. Now, I know in Tennessee, particularly Clarksville, they're building dozens of townhouse communities. And I am more than certain that these are HOA communities. So you need to really pay attention. Make sure you're not joining an HOA. Unless that's your thing and you want to join an HOA, go for it. Go, more power to you. But I highly advise you to read over all the rules, the regulations, the fees, the penalties, everything. And you getting a lawyer involved, and when you sign that contract for the house, getting a lawyer involved in certain shit's gonna be kind of hard. So, and they are powerful, some of these HOAs, man. They got their own lawyers and everything. They'll eat you up. So if you want to deal with that shit, you go ahead. If not, save yourself the trouble. Being part of these communities could be beneficial because they often take care of some of the nitty-gritty duties of home ownership. You know, cleaning your yard, shit like that. Nobody wants to deal with bushes and yards all the time, or shoveling snow. They take care of property maintenance, utilities, landscaping, and snow removal, but these organizations can be restrictive by setting boundaries on what you can and can't do with your property or for a fee. So unless, you know, we live in America. America's a pretty free country, right? You want to do whatever you want with your place. But just imagine this small little group of people, bunch of Karens probably, telling you what you can do, probably gossiping about you while you're paying the fees to live there. Nobody want to deal with that shit. You want to deal with that? Cool. Bushes. Yeah, I said bushes. You know, like, you know, because they pay for some of your landscaping fees and your, you know, shit like that. You know, they cut your bushes or trim them or prune them or whatever. All right, so the best part of the show. Let me see how much time. Let me see how much time we are in. We just hit a half hour, so I got some stories. Oh, those kind of bushes. What kind of bushes were you talking about? See, your mind is somewhere it doesn't need to be. May I direct you to Jesus? He is that way somewhere. I think you need Jesus. All right. Anyway, so this was published just in December. BuzzFeed provided some stories on HOAs. This one in particular has 19 unhinged homeowners associations that went way too far in 2024. These are actual true stories of some HOAs that took it a step too far in enforcing their rules, because they could be a bit power hungry. And again, who wants to deal with this shit, man? I don't give a shit how nice the neighborhood is, how nice the home look. If it has those three letters HOA, no fucking way. All right, so number one. All right, so I think they have a picture here. Some of this shit is from Reddit, of course. HOA making me repaint my entire house during Christmas week because the paint has slightly faded. So just imagine your paint in your particular house, because all the houses, I guess, in that neighborhood, all the same color. But just imagine that your house is slightly fading in paint and that you have to repaint the whole house because it is a shade too light. As it says in the picture, this is from Reddit. The photo of the house on the left is from a few years ago, and the one on the right is how the house is currently. The fascia is faded and pops out are fading into an orange paint color, and those colors are not in the approved paint schemes. To fix the violation, you would need to repaint the home. Please see below link for the paint schemes in your community. Brother, I would have lost my whole shit. I would have sold the house. You're not gonna have me repaint a whole house because it's one shade slightly lighter than everybody else's house. I don't care about everybody else's house. But see, this is the problem you have to deal with the homeowners associations. All right, it said, the quote goes, I would get a color swatch of the original paint color, hold it up next to your current house, and take a picture, send it back, blah, blah, blah. Oh, that's what somebody wrote as a solution. Anyway, this second one. My HOA in Texas has recently flipped out because we painted our house black. Okay, now who the fuck lives in a black house? Well, wait, let me rephrase that. The outside of the house is painted black. This person painted the house black. The HOA is going to get involved. All right, so that my HOA in Texas has recently flipped out because we painted our house black. Originally, all of the houses built in the early 2000s were similar pastel colors, you know, light gray, yellow, blue, etc. Very boring colors. The CCR state that to repaint your house, you have to submit the color to the Architectural Control Committee, the ACC, and the colors must be harmonious with the neighborhood or some bullshit like that. Nothing specifically prohibits any specific color. We followed the rules to the letter and got a written approval. Now, again, you know, it's one of those houses where when it's sunny outside, the colors just bounce off and it all looks pretty nice, like Easter colors. But this person wanted to paint a house black. When was the last time you saw a black house? The outside of the house, all right? ACC Assistant Convoy Commander. Or Convoy Commander. Yeah, I guess you could say. I know what you meant. But I can't imagine that. Now, there's more to that story because the person, I think, got a written approval on painting the house black. I know those neighbors had to been mad as shit to see a black house. The outside of the house, not like a family. Come on, you guys know what I mean. Now, the HOA president, Karen, I guess maybe, I want to say that's her name. Nah, it's not her name. She's just a Karen. Is trying to make us repaint and force the members of the ACC to retract the approval or resign. I say they could kick rocks. What I don't get is why does she care? It doesn't impact her in any way in the neighborhood, although outside of this particular HOA already has tons of black houses. The outside. Do they seriously think they're forcing every house to look the same will somehow boost property values? I think the opposite. It's also worth noting that every house in the HOA has triple value over the last 10 years, so home value is not even an argument by a stretch. Because again, they're afraid of property value. Nobody's going to want to move here if one house is black and the other house, nobody gives a shit. All right? Nobody cares. All right? People, like, I think, and it's true, some of these HOAs are ran by straight Karens. And I think these are people that probably got bullied and wedgied in school. And now that they're in a position of some sort of power, they feel like Thanos. All right, Skinless, you said, I think all the white houses just don't think the black houses belong. I don't think so either. I that's a crazy way to seeing it, but I'll allow it. I'll let it stick. I'll allow it. All right. All right. This HOA that needs to take a moment to stop. This is number 3. This HOA that needs to take a moment to stop and think before they hit send. Now, this person, it's a screenshot from Reddit. And this person said, my HOA sent me a complaint about weeds being in my front yard, and they took a picture of me pulling them out and sent it to me saying I needed to do something about it. But you took a picture of her taking care of the weeds, but yet you are taking a picture of her doing this, and you're telling her to do something about it. That's just being stupid as shit. I told you, some of this, good luck. If you want to deal with HOA, good. Have a lot of fun with that. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. Anyway, number 4. And this HOA that wants to police what kinds of cars residents guests can drive. Oh yeah, there was one where it was a party. I think this is it. So there was a party, and all these cars, these SUVs, Cadillacs pulled up. They were all black, right? You would have thought like the Secret Service pulled up. And I'm sorry you almost woke your kid up. And all these fucking Secret Service looking cars pulled up, and they called the police. They made a complaint. They're like, "Oh, these cars, they're making our neighbors a little bit nervous." Shut the fuck up. Anyway, this is it. Yeah, this is the same story. HOA freaks out over black SUVs. Again, what's with black? What's wrong with black houses, and what's wrong with black cars? I mean, come on. They wrote, concerning event during your recent birthday party. Dear Redacted, I hope you're doing well. I want to reach out regarding an incident that occurred over the weekend during your birthday party. A few of us in the community couldn't help but notice the arrival of 3 blacked out SUVs, which quite frankly startled or unsettled several of your neighbors. It's really concerning to see vehicles showing up in our otherwise peaceful, family-oriented neighborhood, especially without any prior notice. As you can imagine, the sight of them raised a lot of questions and caused quite a bit of anxiety. Some residents even thought something more serious was happening. This whole situation was quite honestly alarming, and we had no idea how to react. I can tell you one way to react. Close your fucking blinds, put on the Golden Girls, and shut up. Mind your business. Why are you worrying about, why are you life watching? Why are you life watching out the window? I bet their blinds are so bent up because all they do at every single moment of the day is to peek outside their little sad window and see who the hell is coming by. Who cares? See, any time you have to live somewhere and you gotta let people know you're about to have a birthday party and who you're inviting, why do you even settle for that? Why do you take your hard-earned money to live somewhere like that, where people are telling you when you should have guests come over, let them know who's coming over, write a manifest, oh, they have to drive certain cars? Give me a break. Man, listen, y'all do it to yourselves. All right, there's more to that. Now it says the email I just received from the HOA, the people in the SUV were regular people who were my friends. This is just weird. Am I supposed to tell these people to rent a Prius the next time they come around? For your information, this was a very tame party. No loud music, about 6 vehicles in the driveway and 2 on the street, and everyone parked in a decent manner. How much you want to put together that the people that they complained about this on were black? I'm going to just go out there and say it. Scanlon, you said all the self-righteous white cars, but can't blame them. The black cars in the neighborhood uninvited. I tell you what. And he said, what should I do next time? Tell everybody to rent a Prius to come to my house. People like this is, oh man, HOAs, man, y'all drive me crazy. Here's another one. And this HOA the HOA that thinks a flower bed would not be aesthetically pleasing. A flower bed, people. Imagine complaining about a flower bed. One of the most aesthetically pleasing things to see in front of a house. The homeowners association system is so busted. I'm trying to add a flower bed in our front yard. Now, after 3+ months fighting with the HOA on this, they end up denying it on a whim despite it being fully adhering to all the HOA rules. A flower bed, come on, man. And no, the black cars didn't do nothing wrong. It was a tame party. It wasn't like it was like Snoop Dogg's video being filmed there. No. All right, number 6. Imagine complaining about a flower bed. That to me is unsettling in itself. This HOA that wants residents to do volunteer work while paying $800 a month for the privilege. Fuck out of here. No way. Seeking volunteers for light duties. This is what they posted. And I'm sorry, it looks like I'm scratching my nose. No, I'm not doing illegal activities. I got a lot of pollen, I guess, that's been kicking up all day. The weather's been warm, so it's making my nose a little itchy. So I don't get any ideas. I'm not doing the 8th. All right, seeking volunteers for light duties. Good evening. The board is looking for owners to volunteer in 2025 to help offset the cost of maintenance items. No snow here. Number one, this is what they want their residents to do, because I guess the cost of maintenance is rising up. So to save themselves money, right, they want the people who are paying an $800 HOA fee to step in. And you gotta be buggy. You think I'm gonna pay you, not snow bunnies. You think I'm gonna pay a fee, an HOA fee, and then you're gonna have me do work for free? You're crazy. That money is supposed to go to you to pay for people to do these light duties, so I don't have to do shit. It sounds like to me somebody is taking money from the HOA and putting it in their own pocket, and then they're claiming maintenance costs. Anyway, so this is some of the stuff they wanted them to do. They wanted them to remove the waste bags from the pet Fido station near your unit. Number 2, as you're walking the property, pick up trash on the ground. Number 3, sweep the entranceway of the clubhouses from time to time. And it says something about, we plan to use something, I guess they blurted it out, to work on the pools next summer. However, he will need help from time to time if he's ill or away on vacation. We need volunteers to serve on a pool committee to check the pool and spa chemicals. We train volunteers, and they want you to sweep lower entryways to keep the leaves from the drain. So they want you to be exposed to chlorine and clean up things that you're paying to do. I'm like, all right, y'all want people to do this. Then cut back on those HOA fees, because then where are they going? You know, if the maintenance fees for all these things is coming to be too much, I guess they rather, instead of raising the fees on the HOAs, they rather just have people do the work. Nobody's gonna do that. Get shit together. All right, anyway, this next one, I just found out my dad is selling the house he spent almost 2 years waiting for because the HOA bylaws are so invasive. Just over a month ago, I helped my dad and his wife move into a new build that they had been waiting for almost 2 years. Let me see if I can invite this person in. That they've been waiting for almost 2 years to be completed. I saw this as a downgrade from the previous house that was sitting on just 2 acres. Had a beautiful kitchen that he redid himself, as well as a massive 2-story garage that my brothers and I helped him build, but he decided it was too difficult to maintain as he's getting older and decided to get into something more easy and manageable. So I went out to breakfast with him and my oldest brother this morning. So he said that this new house was on the market for 8 days before it was sold. I was a little confused by that story, but there's more, I guess. He went on to explain that he needed HOA approval to have a shower rail installed in their bathroom. Okay, so they do get involved in shit that's happening indoors. He's 62 years old and wasn't allowed to have an inoperable vehicle in their own garage. Now, my dad and brother are gearheads, so this is going to be an issue. The final straw is when he got a cease and desist letter from the board's attorney for a conversation he was having on his back patio that the president overheard as she was walking her dog. They have no idea she was their neighbor from across the street, and apparently she had even gone as far as to have cameras pointed at their house after this. Okay, nah. So they're sitting there snooping, listening to your conversations and shit, and now they got cameras pointed at your house? Nah. Skilless, you said, if you look out your window to the right, you see Captain James on the live. Yes, Captain James, what's going on? Welcome. It's PT time, buddy. You better go do some PT. God, my nose is itching so bad, dude. I can't stand it. I'm not doing blow, believe me. It's just crazy. You know, it doesn't make any sense. So you got the HOA Karen, the president, going around ear hustling, listening to shit. How frail does your ego have to be where you got to go around listening for people talking shit about you? Like who cares? Physical therapy. Okay, this next one, the HOA cut down a resident's tree instead of giving them a key to the pool. So they came by and cut the person's tree down. They said, we moved into a brand new neighborhood in January, and all summer we were asking our HOA for our pool key. In response, they had our tree cut down because it looked dead. The person sent to cut it confirmed that it did not look dead, but he did the job anyway. Wow. Money over principle. Okay, if you know the tree wasn't dead, then why didn't you dispute it? But I guess if the HOA paid you to cut it down and you need the business and you got shit to do with money and you got to feed kids, yeah, you're going to do that. James, I did 7,000 likes. It's your turn. Yeah, James, hit me up with some likes. I'm trying to get some people on here. I don't guess too many people don't do HOAs. Okay, so this next one, this one is a little weird about a doorbell. And this HOA's president who should seriously just resign. I asked the HOA president if a Ring doorbell can be installed. Oh my God. So I guess this was a no. I mean, no, I don't think you can install Ring doorbells because they feel like, their area is safe enough that you shouldn't have to install a Ring doorbell. I don't give a shit how gated your community is. People can still get in and still do some harm. All right, this next one makes a little bit more sense. Now it says the street on the side of my home is the HOA neighborhood, but my front yard is on a different street that isn't part of the HOA. So when I moved in, I asked them if I could pay their HOA fees to let my kids use the pool and playground directly across the street. Nope, I planted a mulberry tree on the corner of my property and started getting visits from the HOA saying that my branch was too low to the ground and it violated the HOA. So let me get this straight. One side of your house is on the HOA and one side isn't. So when this person asked if their kids can go play in their pool across the street, which is, he was willing to pay the HOA, they was like, no. But a tree that is not even on their HOA property was a problem. I told them if I was in the HOA, you'd see my kids swimming in the pool. Since they didn't, they would have to deal with my tree. My kids love that tree and still come in spring to gather berries, even though they're now in their 20s. That's the way to stick it to them. Fuck the HOA. Oh man, but it gets worse. Somebody one day came home and someone had lobbed off a big branch from the tree. One that went out to the street. I tried to find out who did it, but they kept mum about it and there wasn't anyone I could go after. So I rebuilt the branch using PVC, wrapped it in bright Christmas lights, and it was May. And then wrapped the rest of the tree for good measure. No, I don't think it was a black Ring doorbell. I honestly don't think so. Let me see. They wrapped the rest of the tree for good measure. I did it ugly too. It was propped up with old branches I found in the woods and some rope, and it just looked awful. I kept those lights on all the way until just before Christmas when I took them down. They sent me some letters, but they just went into the trash. The HOA members who came to my house to ask me to bring them down since it was the gateway to their neighborhood and that was probably affecting property values, were told to go fuck off. They never did mess with the lights, though. I guess they were worried about what I would pull next. So they gave up. That's what I'm saying. Stand your ground against these HOAs because the guy wasn't even in the HOA. Like, one side of his house was just not an HOA, but you gotta stand your ground. They'll back the fuck off, depending on HOAs. I'm not saying all of them are, I think all of them are challenge. You could challenge them, but at the same time, there's some of them will give you a run for the money. Some of them will just back off. They're just like, nah, this person's fucking crazy. And this HOA, this next one, this HOA that could use a refresher on what holiday decorations look like. So what happened was, let me see if I get a little bit of a taste of that. I've had this wreath on my door for 2 years in support of Ukraine. Boo. Today, the HOA decided the wreath is a problem because it's not Valentine's season. Oh my God. So they made a yellow and blue Ukraine colored heart ribbon, and the HOA was like, you can't have that at all. Now, James, let me ask you, Captain James, do you live in a house with a HOA? And if so, I feel very bad for you. Because that shit would suck. All right, this next one. The HOA illegally cut... Oh, you said nah. Okay, good. That's what this episode's about, because the motherfuckers are ruthless. Some of the stories I read on here already is just... It's ridiculous. Like this next one. HOA illegally cut our internet wire. For context, I live in a house in a gated community with many houses next to it. So I'm not sure if they knew it was an internet wire or what, but they cut it. Now, apparently... You think he has a racist neighbor? He probably does. Hey, Captain James, I've been on for about, let's see. All right, now about to hit 50 minutes. It's been 50 minutes. All right, so now this person got their wire cut illegally. They don't, trying to figure out what the hell is happening here. I'm not sure if they knew it was an internet wire or what, but they cut it. Now, apparently, to them, it was an eyesore, how it was exposed a tiny bit to the box. That makes no sense there. That makes no sense because there are other wires there too. Not to mention, it's been there for 3 years. Oh, he said the racist neighbors live across the street. Hey, they put them sheets on, man. You might want to be careful. They ain't trying to go to bed, man. They're trying to do something else in them sheets. So the guy went on to call Spectrum, and they sent out a guy today to check it out. Now here's the kicker. He said, not only did they have someone cut the long, expensive wire, but they also stole the wire. The Spectrum guy was like, what the fuck? They can't do that. They can't destroy our property. He also said he could have reconnected it if they hadn't stolen it. So now we have to wait till Monday so they can bring in a few guys to put a new wire and the labor to get it from our house to the box. Spectrum is going to charge the HOA the bill. That's right, because the HOA didn't know that wire belonged to Spectrum. So yeah, they just sent it to the HOA, and HOA was probably like, oh shit. Stupid. Alright, this next one, this guy or gal kept Halloween decorations way past Halloween. So in this HOA that tried and failed to keep a true Halloweenie down, there's no way I'm waiting till October 7th to decorate. I'll keep the lights off and wait to put out the majority of stuff, but that's the best you're gonna get. I'll pay the fine. So that person stood on business, and they were like, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna just still pay the fines. The HOA is gonna just still keep giving the fines, or eventually just gonna be like, all right, stop, we're done. You know what I mean? It can go either way. But again, I mean, it depends on how deep your pockets are, how far you're willing to go up against the HOA. Like I said, if you don't even move into these neighborhoods, you won't even bother with any of this stuff at all. Like this next, let me see. Let me go to a good one. Let me see. I'm skipping some of these. Some of these are a bit.
I'd probably get a sniper if I end up in a HOA, man.
Whoa! Hey, listen. Why would you even put yourself in that
No,
situation in the
really.
first place? Everybody, Captain James, welcome.
Yeah.
Why would you? Why would you put
Whenever they
yourself in that
show up, you
situation?
just pew, pew.
Okay, you won't be a homeowner too long after the fact. That's for sure. So you'll own a new place in Cell Block C next to Jamal. All right,
Nah,
this
D
next
block
one.
all the
No,
way.
whoa, hey, yeah, D Block. You just want to go to D Block because it has the letter D in it.
You shoot him and you drag him in.
What's up?
Let's say you shoot and you drag him in and make sure there's a hole in the backyard.
See, you're on demon time, and it's only like 5 in the morning over there. All right, this next one. My HOA is threatening to tow my car from a spot that I pay for in a condo that I pay for. So for context, I live in Florida and I plan on moving across the country for work. So I have been very busy with planning that, and I just let the registration on my car slip my mind. That's all fine. Registration's online. I was able to do that, but they have to ship the sticker to me, which could take weeks. Okay, fine. The car is legally registered with the state. All good, right? Well, that was apparently wrong. They said I need to have the sticker for proof, like y'all won't do shit about the upstairs neighbors stomping around at 1 a.m., but they're going to tow my car for literally no reason, so I'm glad I moved out of there. I told you, man, that's some sketchy work.
I know some
Sketchy
people that are
work.
living in HOA places,
And then,
not
how are
just
they
bought
taking it?
places in
Are they,
HOA.
are they fucking miserable in those things?
You know the guy, profile
I
boss,
know the, who?
appointment boss.
That guy. Oh, that guy. Yeah. Did you make your appointment? He's like, I don't know. You're not on the list.
You're
All
gonna
right,
have
and
HOA
finally,
appointment.
he's gonna. I got my appointments at 2 a.m. Can you imagine that shit? And this last one right here. And no, nobody's gonna put. Oh man, you put that scarecrow in your yard, you're gonna have more than just the HOA on your ass. That's for sure, especially if you're in a Jewish neighborhood. All right, and finally, I'm not sure what Kathy at the HOA did, but whatever it was made someone mad enough to set 3 alarms to wake up and yell at them. This woman said, I'm about to curse my HOA out so bad in the morning, I set an alarm. So she set an alarm that says belt to ass at 7:45 because she named her alarm. So it's belt to ass at 7:45, who this for at 7:50, and curse out Kathy long neck ass at 8 o'clock.
Hmm.
That's fucked up. Hey, listen, man. Like I said, I don't care how nice the neighborhood is. I'm not putting myself in that predicament where I have to deal with such nonsense. Let's see. I got another thing that 24 HOA fights that are almost unbelievably petty. Um, like I said, the HOA could be very petty. Let me see. We just drag this little puzzle piece. All right, let's open this up and see what kind of stories it has because I'm almost at an hour. Hey, Chico, what's going on? Welcome, welcome. I'm glad you're
Hey, did you
passing
get
by. And
to
look,
pick up your stuff today?
what stuff? Oh, the sign? I don't think it showed up
No, the thing
today.
you shipped.
Oh, the thing I shipped. Oh, the car. Oh yeah, we got the car. We got it today. We just got it. It came back in one piece. It's still because we got a detail right before it came here, and honestly, like it came out pretty good. And now we got the car. It's just got temporary plates, but we're able to drive it around, bring it on post, bring it off post. So we got something to whip around with. But most times we're just gonna probably be like taking the
Uh,
bus and train places.
uh,
Um,
Makes sense, makes
oh no,
sense.
yeah, yeah, and no, skinless.
That's Chico.
It's the gizmo is in my car, which is in New York. It's not in my wife's car. My car is in New York. And no, we do. Do we have an Asian license? A license plate? We do, but it's a temporary plate. It's got like two red lines across it. But I do have a Korean driver's permit. Hold on, I'll show you real quick. If I can reach over there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I do have a Korean license out here. Let me show you what it looks like without showing too much of my information. But
Ain't nobody gonna understand that shit.
shut up. This is a Korean license right here. This is a Korean driver's permit that allows you to drive out. It's orange, like some weird immigration card.
You
We
don't you
have
don't have
that.
your face on it?
No, our face is not on it. It's just
How do they
it's
know it's you?
my name. Yo, why would you say that? Oh man, that's wrong. That's wrong. This man said it's slant. Never mind. God damn it. All right, I got some HOA stories real quick for you guys. Rio, thanks for joining the show. I know it's super early where you at. This was published in 2022. The HOA we live in is pure chaos. 24 wildly petty HOA stories that made me wonder how is this even legal. Yeah, HOA's got a lot of legality. They can do shit that you don't think they can do. And again, no lawyer can help because when you sign for that house on the dotted line, you adhere to all their fucking rules. You automatically become a member of the HOA when you buy that property. So good luck with that. So starting off with this petty ass shit, number one, the HOA came to my house right when we moved in at 6 a.m. to let me know that we chose the wrong garbage company to pick up our trash at 6 a.m. Brother, I would have lost my shit. I'm like, so you're gonna sit here and come to my house to tell me that I have the wrong trash company when you could have done that at any point in the day. Now, Skinless, you said, imagine they could get away with beating you up and robbing you. Oh, they ain't getting away with that. In fact, they're already robbing you with them stupid ass fees. They are already getting robbed, regardless. But imagine they come to your house at 6 a.m. to tell you some shit. You're not even out of bed yet. That you picked the wrong trash company. It's like when somebody knocked on your door, they're like, hey, we want to talk about extending your car's warranty. No, these people came by and was like, yes, we noticed that you pick Stinky Pinky when you're supposed to pick somebody else. I would be like, get the fuck away from me right now. I got the tools in the house. I got the tools. God, I don't even think in the HOA you can even own toolies. I don't even know. That's something to look into. All right, number two, my best friend lived in a neighborhood for a short period of time with a very strict HOA. One of their most ridiculous demands was that on trash day, all city trash cans must be removed within 30 minutes of trash pickup, otherwise there will be a fine. Trash pickup was at 10 a.m. when most people were at work and couldn't move the trash cans. Now that's completely unfair. And yes, I know who people.
Everybody getting
I know
fined.
everybody getting fined, but here's the thing. I listen. When I lived on Princeton Circle, it wasn't an HOA area, but there'll be days and people leave their garbage out in the front. No big deal. Nobody made a mention of anything. But it only sucked on windy and stormy days where the trash can is now like down the block somewhere. And yes, I
In
know who
front of your
Pinky is.
house.
No, no, not in front of my. Well, there's times I left the trash can out for a couple of days in front of the house after it got picked up. I was lazy. But other than that, I put the trash can went back like to my yard. And
She
yes,
got like one of
I
those
do
silver
know.
cans.
No, fuck no. I don't got that Oscar the Grouch bullshit. It's plastic cans. Who has metal cans? Them shits make a lot of noise. And I do know who Pinky is. Pinky has gotten me through some very lonely nights. Anyway, number 3, it says our HOA has a decree against sidewalk chalk. People, sidewalk chalk. You know the big piece of chalk that kids use to draw and shit on the streets and whatnot. Well, the HOA seem to have a problem with that. And yes, the kids
Yeah, no
knocking over your trash
hopscotch.
can. Yeah, no hopscotch. Now check this out. Our HOA has a decree against sidewalk chalk. Now, this was especially apparent during the pandemic when kids were kept at home and looking for something to do. HOA rules made no sense half the time and are heavily slanted against the underrepresented. No, I'm not turned. In fact, I should have some soju, but I should go grab the soju. I was sitting there looking at it this morning, but I'm not in the mood to drink it though. I'm not. It's not that kind of night. Maybe tomorrow night I might have some soju. Have you guys seen a bottle of soju at all? Grab a
Nah.
soju. That's so fucked up. Hold on. Give me a second. Give me a second. I'm gonna go grab the bottle. Don't go anywhere. Keep talking so that the audio's going. But keep talking. I'll be back. I'm gonna go get it.
Yeah, so guys, I'd like to welcome you back to Eddie's Live. And we're live right now.
All right, I'm
As you
coming. I'm
look in the
coming. I'm coming. I'm
background, you
coming.
would see the Twin Tower.
This
Um,
man said, "Grab a soju." Ah, shit! Scratch myself. Nah, I'm gonna
yeah,
take a
but
sip of some of
as
this.
I was telling you guys, now that Eddie's head is in the way, if you had looked back, you'd see the Twin Towers. New York is
Soju.
very nice outside. He's there. He got a green bottle with a white label. It looks like a bottle of lemonade, and he calls it soju-ish.
It's
Um,
it's really refreshing.
yeah, refreshing. It's like seltzer water in a green bottle.
Get out of
But
here.
yeah,
That's not like salsa. What I promise you, this shit will have you knocked the fuck out
have you
afterwards.
like wait?
What?
I say will have you knocked out. Like wait. So wait, how you don't get like a warning for showing that bottle, but if we show a bottle, you know,
Because it's not. The AI doesn't recognize this as a particular drink. They recognize it as a soda.
soda,
Haha. Like a soda. Oh yeah. Let me get back to the chalk story.
also
Where was I? Where was I? Oh,
the chick with the
on the board because the same old nosy busybodies are the ones who want to be on the board. Literally saw one lady wait for a mom and her 2 kids to come back from a walk to tell her to clean up the sidewalk chalk outside the garage door. Woman waited all day just to tell them to clean up that fucking chalk. I would smack the shit out of people. Anyway, number 4, and no, it's not grape soda. My HOA tried to make me rehome
watermelon.
my dog for no reason. Now, most recently, they tried to fine me for late fees because they didn't cash my due checks for several months. I closed the account and moved my money, not knowing they had cashed it. They hadn't cashed it. So the check bounced. Yet that sounds like you should have cashed it when you got it. Your problem, not mine. So as a result, they were like, "Yo, you need to go send your dog somewhere else," because they couldn't cash a check. And what the fuck is cornbread soda? Come on, you can't. I don't know. Not one black person that would sit there and turn cornbread into a soda.
Collard
That to me
green
is
soda. He's
oh,
probably
yeah,
beating the
not.
collard green soda right there.
That's
Green
wild.
bottle.
That's wild work. That is wild work. This I'm telling you, soju, it's good. All right, see now you're pushing it. Pig feet soda, you're pushing it. That's like having a chitlin shake. You're pushing it now. All right, this next one. I live in a townhouse outside of DC that was part of an HOA. No one had repainted in years, so my roommate got a can of hunter green paint. The same color out front, our front door and shutters were. Now, although very faded and repainted, one neighbor walked by and told us how nice it looked and complained how no one ever spruces up their house. Another neighbor came over, eyes down the can of paint, and left. A few days later, we got a nasty letter about how we were in violation of the HOA rules for using the wrong brand of paint. So imagine you're just trying to save money. You ain't trying to buy some really expensive paint, but the bougie paint. But somebody looked down there like, these people are
That's not a
poverty.
bougie lifestyle at all. That's prison.
But that's crazy. Not even the wrong paint color. The brand. The brand. They were like, yo, you can't use that brand. You got to use something a little bit more bougie. It says,
Yeah.
we were
No,
given
no
a
Dollar
week's of.
General. Gotta be
No
Walmart or
Dollar
Target.
General paint. Yeah, no Dollar General paint. So we were given a week to fix it, or they would come out and paint over our house numbers on our 2 reserved parking spaces so anyone could park in our spots. Short of high school, this was the pettiest thing I've ever seen in my life. We got another nasty letter a few days later. Man, please. So you're not even getting on them about painting. You're getting on them simply about the brand of the paint.
Yeah.
To me, that is crazy work, dude. That is insane. All right. My former HOA called me selfish when I asked for a handicapped parking space. They would not assign me a space. I could not wait to move out. Wow. So imagine I'm asking for a handicapped space and they're like, no, you're being selfish. Maybe I think what it was that they probably had a handicap that wasn't a visible handicap and thought like, well, your handicap is not as bad as Miss Kathy's hip, her broken hip after getting her back blown out. That's not as bad. So why should you get the spot? Now, Skinless, you said have Bob Ross' cousin do the job. Rob Ross. What about Rob Boss? Oh, Rob Boss. Oh, Rob. Ah, you got me twisted here.
Bob Ross.
And I'm not even Bob Ross. Rob Boss. This stuff is delicious. Anyway, this next one. Our old HOA had rules about how many plants you can have in your window, what type of blinds you can have. No, it don't. It tastes. How can I describe it? All right, this is a strawberry
like
gin roll. Look up the brand. It's like a wine
in a bottle
in a sense. Think of like a Seagram.
Wine's always in a bottle though.
Okay, think of not always. It's sometimes in the box, but think of a Seagram's mixed with a wine and such of stuff. It's got a refreshing flavor.
Who drinks wine out of a box?
That's what I said. I don't know who the fuck drinks wine out of a box. But that's some dirty work. That's some bum.
What's
that's
a black
bum
guy's
energy.
favorite berry? Blackberry.
God damn it. Oh my god. All right, I'm gonna skip the plants one because that's fucking stupid. Let me read this one. I put a baby gate up during the day when I'm outside with my dog. Oh, robberies. Fucking god. Yo. Oh, I'm speaking. I heard this crazy joke earlier. I'm trying to think of how it went without botching the joke. I think it went something like, "What's the difference between a black man and Batman?" Yeah, that's the joke. What's the difference between a black man and Batman? Take a guess.
Batman got no.
All right, I'll do it for you. What's the difference between a black man and Batman? Is that Batman is able to go out with Robin at night. I mean, go out at night with Robin or some shit. I think I botched the joke, but it was like, no, I said no. Oh, that's what it was. It was without Robin. That's the joke. Yeah, it's fucking shit. Yeah, that's what it was. That shit had me shocked. It was a well executed joke. Anyway, so this woman put up a baby gate. What's up?
So I Jim Carrey, right?
Jim Carrey, yeah. Everybody knows Jim Carrey.
Yeah, he made a lot of stories, and made us laugh. But he's not the only one I know that got rich wearing masks. Yeah.
What?
You get that?
No. Boo.
No. So Jim Carrey, you know the movie The Mask, right?
Yeah. I know The Mask.
He got rich off of that.
Yeah, but he was okay.
You know other people that got rich wearing masks? Bank robbers,
Bro, that is the worst strung together shit I've ever heard. I don't know if you're trying to make a political statement or what, but you guys.
I heard it in a song, man. Whatever. Whatever. Boo to you guys, man.
You're like a ghost. Boo. Anyway, so I put up a baby gate during the day when I'm outside with my dogs to keep them in the backyard, and then put it up every night. I've gotten several temporary fencing violations for a baby gate from the HOA. A temporary fencing violation for a baby gate. How petty does an HOA has to be, man? There's no way. Anyway, this next one. My mother was in the hospital dying from cancer when she received a letter from the HOA of her condo complex that her patio curtains need to be white, not blue.
Yeah.
Just imagine you dying from stage 9 cancer, and the last thing you're told is that you need to repaint your fucking patio. Like, what
At
kind
that
of
point, I
awesome sort of
just put the
compassion?
colors of the rainbow on the fucking patio.
Oh no, I'll just paint "fuck you" on the patio, and that's it.
On
He
the
said
blue
they just want
curtain?
little Jimmy crawl. Probably. He said they just want little Jimmy crawling out into the street and get ran over. I probably do. But just imagine that. Like, man. Here's another one. One day we got a note on our front door from the HOA telling us to remove the well. We didn't have a well. Neither did any of the houses around us had a well, so we disregarded it. Then the following week we got another letter stating that the well was an eyesore and needed to be removed because we can't have wells on the property. We literally walked around the whole house searching for this well. We called the number and said we had found no well. Now, a month later, we get another letter with an envelope finding us for not removing the well. What I mean, they literally had seen our house to keep putting the notices on the door. They could see there was no well. So one day we were walking in a complete other section of the subdivision, and there was a house that had the same address number as us, but a different street name. There was the well, but it wasn't a well. It was a freaking ornamental garden planter with beautiful flowers coming from it. It was also no bigger than a foot tall. So yeah, so basically it was just another block that had the same house number. They had a well, but it wasn't even really a well. And
Well,
they went, well, that sucks. That sucks. All right, this next one. HOAs are absolutely the worst. I moved out of the townhouse because they decided we couldn't have more than one pet in our own homes, and I had two of the pets.
hmm?
Now they said they fine anyone who didn't comply and wouldn't hesitate to take out liens against homeowners and retaliation. Instead of fighting it, in retrospect, I wish I would have been more bold. I decided to sell my home. Yeah, because you know HOAs could put a lien on your home if you don't comply with the rules or pay the fines. Yeah, they can literally take your property if you don't pay your fines or follow the rules. Just
Yeah, I ain't
imagine
living in
that.
no HOA place, man.
That's what I'm saying. Who would subject themselves to that? I mean, yeah, you get a safer neighborhood, you get all the things done for you, but it ain't even worth it. I'd rather mow my own lawn, water my own grass, just so I don't have to have people tell me how to, deal with my own house. I like this next one. My parents were moving out of their home and got a storage pod for their move. It was there less than 24 hours before the HOA received the complaint and had to notify my parents that it needed to be moved. Now, the whole point of a pod is to move everything yourself, usually within a week, and it was ridiculous.
Yeah, do the
Wow.
drill.
Dumb. Let's see. Next one. My HOA banned us from putting up "Hate has no home here" signs. We got so pissed that we ended up making it into a door hanging since they couldn't do anything about door hangings during the holiday season. Wow. So I guess they don't want some pseudo political stuff posted around. Like, can you imagine you put a Trump sign in front of your HOA house? Do you think
Yeah,
that would
that
fly?
you getting a fine for that shit.
Probably. Political shit like that, you probably would.
Worse if you
You
have a
probably.
Tesla car, that shit will be burned too. Then you get a fine
Well,
for
there
that
was.
too.
Well, see, one guy had a Rivian electric truck in front of his house in an HOA. They told him he couldn't even have that there. They didn't like the idea of pickup trucks sitting outside because look a little
Ghetto.
redneckish. Yeah, look
Oh,
ghetto. Yeah, but even though this was an electric truck, and it's not a bad looking truck, but they were like, you can't have this in front of the house.
now imagine if you
Mm.
get a old car sitting on blocks in front of the lawn.
Let me tell you something. If my car is sitting on cinder blocks in front of an HOA home, I am going to go into the treasury and take all of the HOA money because they got to pay for new tires. Because the whole point is for security. There should be nobody stealing tires in an HOA community. None at all. Because some of
Yeah,
the HOAs, it pays for security. Some HOAs have security firms that, gated communities and shit like that. That's what your HOA goes into. So there should be no reason why my car is sitting on phone books at 6 in the morning when I need to go to work.
yeah.
No reason for that shit. All right, this next one, the
Phone
HOA we
book.
currently phone books. This next one, the HOA we currently live in is pure chaos. So wishy-washy. We had a wrecked car parked in our driveway for a couple of days. Mind you, we had told the HOA of this because we were not sure what to do with the car, and the insurance was doing a claim on it. Anyway, the HOA went back on their permission, even though we clearly had it in writing. Got a fine for having a car illegally parked in our driveway. The neighbor next door has a car parked on the street with expired tags. They have not moved since we moved into the HOA, and the HOA did nothing about it. I do think sometimes the HOA do target people. I do think they go and they pick out people they want to fuck with. I'm pretty sure of it. Yeah, they kiss my whole ass. Our HOA once fined us because a board member thought we left the pool gate open. Black people, wow. When it was someone else's kid who did it. Along with the notice of the fine, a note was included stating that my husband was seen at the pool with two women, implying he was hooking up with the two women. Whoa. But the women were me and our neighbor friend. We fought it and didn't have to pay, but it was still laughable. Ooh, they even tried to throw shade at this woman. It was like, yo, well, you left the gate open. And also, by the way, your husband was sitting there with two women. That's when it becomes a problem, when they get too much into your personal life, even though the woman was really his wife.
Yeah.
I'm super confused by that shit. Yeah, tell me about it. All right, so this next one, oh, there's Rio. Rio, would you live in a house in the HOA? Would you live in an HOA house?
I would live in a neighborhood that's in HNIC, the head nigga in charge.
God damn, I'm gonna break this fucking bottle over you, goddamn. Why? Man, please. Are you the HNIC of your house?
Nah, the HNIC, if they were running the neighborhood, man, we'd be good. Good food.
All right, are you the...
You just gotta lock your doors.
Why do you gotta lock your doors?
No, I'm joking.
I'm sorry, I had some of this.
Why you drunk off that soju?
And I told you, it's a sleeper drink. It hits you like right after. I already feel tingling and shit. It's pretty good stuff. You know, this stuff is like, what's the percentage on this? I think it's like 13-14%.
It's probably
Soju, dude.
Not much sugar in it either, huh? Too, or does it?
It's sweet enough. I think it's sweet enough. But it hits you, dude. It really does hit you.
It's easy to take down. It's easy to drink.
Oh, it's so easy to drink. It's a spirit. It's a spirit.
Okay.
And it has 13%. So that's what soju is. It's not a alcohol or wine. It's a spirit.
Carbonated.
And
Expired airline.
it's kind. No, it's not like the fucking airline. It is a little bit carbonated. So I think of it as a
sparkling
very,
water.
but better than sparkling water. I'm telling you, when you get a chance, try it. It's good. It even got a little fucking frog on it. Look, you can see the.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see
I
it.
think they have that at that World Market store. I'm gonna have to try some.
Try it. I am telling you. You and Chrissy, when the kid's asleep, crack open a bottle, 2 bottles. I'm telling you, you guys will like it. This particular brand, Jinro, with the little frog on it, strawberry, grape. They got different flavors. Definitely.
Which one you get, grape?
Try it. Of course I get grape. No, I got strawberry. Why the fuck are you? I got strawberry.
You got strawberry for life purposes only.
Now I feel pretty nice. Damn, yo. Listen. I only look. This is a bottle I had it for a while. I had it up to here, right? It was right here and then I just finished it, and I feel nice, dude. I'm gonna go get some more tomorrow for
I
sure.
told y'all, skinless is bad influence, man. You were going
I
good.
need to have Soju Hour podcast. Like, I feel pretty nice. All right, hold on. I got another HOA story that involves plastic flamingos. Now, on Thanksgiving Day, my neighbor, who is part of the volunteer patrol, called the cops on my family.
Patrol? What the fuck?
The volunteer patrol, yo, I'm telling you, if you were on the show earlier,
That's like
some of the
KKK.
shit I read about HOAs is ridiculous, dude. They're like their own little Gestapo police. Dude. They're their own little mafia. But anyway, in this case, no, they're not. They're not the Triple K. My neighbor, who was part of the volunteer patrol, called the cops on my family because they parked in front of my house for a few hours. Now, everyone ended up getting tickets, and we got a fine for having cars parked in the street for an extended period of time. But don't worry. When said neighbor went on vacation, I placed 25 plus plastic flamingos in her yard and proceeded to call the HOA every day until they got back. What can I say? Sometimes karma needs a hand. That is the best way to get back at somebody. Putting flamingos in somebody's yard, I think is awesome. Or pineapples. You know, put them out there. Put them on blast. All right. I'll read one more and then I'm gonna call it. Let me see which. Oh, it's a good one. My HOA towed and fined me because my car had a flat tire one morning.
Jesus.
So I guess because they saw the car, they might have looked like it was abandoned. So I mean, if your car looks, that's what I'm saying. If you have an HOA, you can't have a shitty ass looking car because they will look at it as an abandoned car, and they will have your shit towed away, automatic.
That makes sense.
Some of the fees are expensive as fuck.
Yo, I've read from what we read earlier. Some of the fees go from $400 to $10,000 in HOA fees.
Crazy.
It makes no sense, but it covers like there are some advantages to HOAs. They cover landscaping, security, shit like that, upkeep. You know, things that some people don't want to sit there and do to their house. Like people don't have time to mow their own lawns and shit like that. Ooh, goddamn, that shit hit me, yo. I'm telling you, don't sleep on soju. That shit hits you quick. Oh no, it takes a minute. And you're like, oh, this is a fruity
You're
ass
gonna be
drink.
walking around spinning the helicopter after this.
Bro, I'd probably be breakdancing on my dick doing spins on it in a minute. Like, look at this skin. Let's say if you can't afford $10,000, that's sad. It's chump change. All right, Mr. Monopoly. Next time I see you, better wear that little fucking monocle on your eye and sitting there with the top hat and black suit and shit. Oh, that shit got me kind of. Yo, that is crazy. I only had a quarter of the bottle of this stuff. Right about
Hi, welcome
here.
to Skinless. How may I take your order?
This shit got me fucked up. They weren't kidding about soju before I came here. I've heard so many stories about being in Korea with soju, and they were not kidding about that drink. I am telling you. I wish I could send some to you guys, but I can't. They won't allow me to send beverages through the mail. So when I do leave this place, in household goods, I have to rack up on a lot of soju. And yes, I am very lightweight, but this stuff, even for a non-lightweight, this shit will hit you pretty good.
You won't drink another bottle.
This is the only bottle I got. I got to get more. I think this is the only bottle I have.
You're about to hit the soapy massage right now.
The what?
The soapy.
Yeah, that shit. Soapy?
The suds.
The suds.
No,
the
soapy massage. Oh, I wanted to do that so bad. I wanted to do that so bad. Listen, I don't care how lightweight you are. Even like a hardcore dude would drink this stuff, and I promise you're gonna be fucked up. Now, you said how many sojus does it take to get a? Why do you spell it like that? Why do you have to spell it like that? Honestly, I wouldn't know because I haven't tried. Perhaps maybe you can give some insight. Because I've heard, like, the juicy girls, they give you nothing but, like, sojus and shit. These guys be falling for this shit. They think they're in love, and before you know it, they check their bank account, and they spent over $400 on a chick buying her soju drinks. Stay away from that shit. That's not my style.
They were probably buying her water, and then they were buying themselves soju. They didn't know.
Probably. God, yo, this drink got me fucked up, dude. I'm like literally floating over here. I'm not even like exaggerating. This shit got me fucked up, man. I'm sitting here juggling one orange. It's just one orange.
You better go off post and find you some fun, dude.
Whoa, no. Nah, I'm not doing that. Y'all bugging. I ain't going off post for nothing.
Still ain't rabbit.
My weekends are pretty tame. Hey, Rio, we got our car out here too.
Are y'all taking it for a trip this weekend or what?
Nah. We're keeping it local. We got it on temporary plates. We're able to drive it.
Dude is juggling an orange now.
I dropped the fucking. It dropped over there. Hold on. Give me.
I dropped the orange.
Get you a few grapes, man. Like 3 grapes.
Yeah, I got it right here. I got it. Now, this is actually a mandarin. He said go pick it up. I already did. It's a mandarin. My wife left it for me here before I started the show. I'm going to eat it afterwards. But yeah, I'm just juggling this one.
Gonna eat what after?
A mandarin. Yeah. This orange.
All right.
What you thought I said? A dick? Anyway, so yeah, HOAs, man. I think I've read enough about HOAs. I listen, Skinless. I only had this much. I've had this soju for about a week. Oh, actually, no. It was like 2 weeks. I had it in the fridge. It was right here, and I just finished it, and I'm fucked up.
Hey, next
This
time,
is.
next weekend, you're drinking a whole bottle on camera.
I can do that. That's easy. That's easy. It's. I think it makes. I personally think it makes for a fun show. I think it makes for a better show. Honestly, and I highly recommend you guys to try it. It's a spirit. Go try it. You can find it at any store, basically.
And you ain't drinking no spirit.
Any liquor
I look
store.
like
No,
I
trust
look
me,
like fly
James.
spirit.
Man, if you drink this, you will be a spirit. I'm telling you, you should try it. Try it, give it a chance. It's a really good drink. But anyway, listen, my last thought on HOAs is pretty simple. All right, listen. If you're all about HOAs, I can't tell you what to do when it comes to buying a home, but I tell you what, HOAs is not the way to go. Personally, for me, from the stuff I just read and how petty they can be, it's a no-go. I can't. You know what I mean? It's definitely not for me. All right, fellas, now that you're on the show, it's kind of turning into a roundtable kind of deal. What plans you guys got this weekend? I don't have a roundtable show tomorrow, so no show tomorrow. So what do you guys got going
Why
on?
you always doing us this on the weekend, bro?
What are you talking about?
You're not on during the week. On the weekends, you're not on.
Okay, so you think I should do a roundtable show tomorrow?
Yeah.
All right, fine. I tell you what, I'll do a roundtable tomorrow. When I wake up in the morning, I'll do a roundtable. You just better make sure you're on.
What time is it again?
Right now, where I'm at, it's almost 10 o'clock at night.
That's early, man. Shit, it's Friday.
For the weekend? Yeah. Is it Saturday at you or Friday at you?
No, it's Friday right now. It's Friday night.
Okay.
We on
All right,
Friday
Skillers.
too.
All right, Skillers. You said Easter party on Sunday, Saturday going out. Okay, yeah, we got a at the golf course out here. They got like this crazy brunch they got going on: crab legs, pancakes,
Damn.
fucking prime rib. They got crazy shit going on over here.
Is Tiger
There's a
Woods
lot
out
of
there?
East. No, Tiger Woods is not out here at all. No, but no, they got a lot of
Tiger Wood is out
What?
there.
Who's out there? Niga Woods?
Tiger Wood.
Nah, you bugging. You bugging. Yo, this shit got
Chicken
me
wings.
fucked
Of
up.
course, he's making chicken wings.
Hey, Eddie, you didn't need to deep throat the bottle. Jesus.
The buzz
got
I
something,
do.
bro. What are you drinking?
Oh, shit. Yo. Hey, Korea turned this man out.
Nah, pause. Hey, yo. Nah,
You'll
not
come
even.
back one of the bar and ask, "Hey, you guys got any sojuice?"
Hey, you might as well walk off the walking gate, go get you some more.
Yeah, 7-Eleven. There's a 24-hour 7-Eleven right outside the fucking gate. I can go get some, but I'm not gonna do that. It's like 10 o'clock at night. But this
Just
shit
don't
is so
drink any
fucking
Bud
gross.
Light.
Mm-hmm.
This is trash.
Let's go.
Wait, do that again? Go deeper?
Hey, yo. Hey, yo, pause, dude.
Where's your wife at?
She's in the kitchen right now. She's in the kitchen.
She would have seen that shit, man.
She's in
that
the
was
kitchen
big
right
and
now.
fatty.
Yeah. Now the housekeeper. What is with you with the housekeeper? We're not in a hotel no more. There's no housekeeper in here. Why do you guys keep thinking that? He's a fucking housekeeper. Oh man. Rio, what you got going on this weekend?
I just took Sophie to jiu-jitsu this morning.
Nice.
I got to take her again later, and then again tomorrow.
That's what's up.
We'll be we're just chilling. She's got no tournament this weekend, so we're chilling. Next weekend and then the weekend after there's a tournament. So
Hell yeah. Keep it busy, moving around. Captain James, what you got going on this weekend?
Robbing shit.
Of course.
No,
And then
ninjas gonna do what ninjas do.
that's a goddamn shame. Yeah, you gotta be. You're being so black right now. And then Skinless Chicken, you already told me what your plans is. It's pretty simple. All right, yeah. Me personally, I think tomorrow. I don't know what the fuck we're doing tomorrow. I guess it's open for anything. We just watched a couple of movies here. like a couple hours ago. We watched a couple of movies, and
You ever seen The
that's
Beekeeper?
it. No, I heard that movie was ass.
Which one?
I've The Beekeeper with Jason Statham. I mean
Uh,
Statham, not Statham. I said
you
Statham.
gotta see what's the. There's that new
My wife said
fucking.
it's good.
There's that new war movie or some shit that's out. It's like war. I forgot what it was.
War movie.
That shit funny.
24 or some shit.
That shit funny.
24. Is it with the chick? With the chick?
I'm not. I don't know. I keep seeing ads, and then the Minecraft movie.
Okay, the Minecraft movie is for virgins. Like, there's dudes, grown ass men throwing popcorn across the fucking
Yeah, I
theater.
saw that. Yeah.
As soon as Chicken Jockey comes out, and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking?
What
Like,
movie you
Chicken
talking
Jockey
about?
scene
The
come.
chicks, the president.
Oh, the 24 chick, the black chick with the. It's supposed to be like some sort of a action thriller. I think it's on. I think it's on Amazon Prime. I
Yeah.
believe.
Oh, with the president.
I think so.
She
Yeah,
was
yeah,
in the
yeah.
military or some shit.
Right. That's the
Is
movie. I know they were
is it
showing it in
nice?
theaters here. I don't know. We might watch it this weekend. I think it's on Amazon Prime. So,
I'm gonna check it
but
out.
we did see Flight Risk. That was a pretty interesting movie. Like the ending was corny, but it was the movie with Mark Wahlberg. Flight Risk. It takes
Oh
place
yeah.
pretty much. The movie's alright, man. The ending was a little weak though. The ending was cheesy, but the movie
Was he on a
itself was
flight?
yeah, it was on a flight. The whole plane takes place. I mean, the whole movie takes place on the plane. This
What
man
happened?
said Tyler Perry. Oh, I'm not gonna tell you the movie, man, but you watch it. It's on Prime. This man said Tyler Perry's Tarzan. How much soju did you have tonight? Because that's ridiculous. Tyler Perry's Tarzan.
You don't drink soju. You drink Hennessy.
Well, anything is possible, but I promise you, you have some of this
Even though
Jinro
he's not in
fucking soju.
Tennessee.
God damn, what are you, an aspiring rapper? Trying to make it? His humble beginnings is at Walmart, and he became a rapper. He got tired of bagging shit, so he became a rapper. Like that'd be a fantastic story. Hun, this fucking
Yeah.
soju got me messed up. I'm talking in tongues.
I walk
We
8
gotta get.
miles.
Listen, we're gonna get more of this stuff tomorrow. This stuff here, I promise you,
I see
will
grape
have
there. I
you
thought you said
from.
you got strawberry.
It's strawberry. That's a fucking frog dressed in a suit. Look, he's got a
Oh.
fucking Yankee. He's got a
Oh,
what do you call it? Yankee Doodle hat.
I see it now.
Yeah. And you got Skinless over there talking in German. He about to get us all flagged. He about to get Uncle Frog. Uncle Frog. That's a funny ass name for somebody. Uncle Frog. That's a funny ass name, man. But yeah, I didn't even have a roundtable schedule for tomorrow morning, but I guess I'll do one tomorrow morning. And then my wife and I don't know what we're doing tomorrow. I don't even know what the hell is happening tomorrow. I guess we just kind of play it ear by ear for tomorrow. But you know what? I'll put the roundtable for tomorrow morning. I will just talk about other crazy random shit, things that's going on. The usual shit. So, and I'm only doing it because you guys want me to. Other than that, I wouldn't even have done a roundtable
Tariffs.
tomorrow.
We gotta talk
What's the
about
schedule?
those.
What, lily pads?
Tariff.
What?
Tariff.
Earth?
Tariff.
Man, I think you had some of the soju too. You sitting there talking some crazy shit right now. I don't know what the fuck you talking about Earth right now. What is happening?
Hey, we're gonna talk about China.
Yes, we'll talk about China. Yeah, we'll talk about China as well.
We'll talk about
We'll talk about
niggas.
whatever. Whoa, hey. We'll talk. You know how the round table goes. We'll talk about any and everything, man. Every and everything. Anyway, wait, you say girth? Hey, yo.
Ert.
Eh,
Harris?
Mm-mm.
Who the hell is Harris?
I don't know. I think you guys had some soju too, and you guys, I don't even got no more in this thing. There's a drop in here. Yeah, I got a drop out of it. A couple of drops. All right. Anyway, look, I'm about to wrap up this show. It's getting late. Of course, you guys, thanks for stopping by and joining. I know it's early in the morning where you are, and it's even earlier where Skinless is. I know it's like super early in the morning, but thanks for joining. Tomorrow
He's
I
only an hour
will.
behind, man.
I know, still, but it's still early. It's still early
Yeah,
out
it's
there.
like 7
But
o'clock there. Your
yeah,
boy's
but
been up
because
Willie.
since 5:30.
hey, Don't be silly, grab your willy. What the fuck you got going on over there? Anyway, because you guys want me to do a show, I'll do a show tomorrow. We'll do a round table. And I got to do the
I
schedule
hope
for
you're
the
not
rest of
saying
the
that
week.
because you're drunk.
No. I'll do it. I'll do it. I didn't have a show scheduled for tomorrow, but you guys want me to do one. I'll do one. It's no big deal. I'll do it. Like I said, I did a bonus episode earlier just because I felt like doing a show. So I figured, why not just do a round table tomorrow? Fuck it. You
You
guys want
said
me
you
to do it?
felt
I'll
like
do
doing
it.
a hoe?
No, I said a show.
Oh,
A
oh.
show. How did you go from? Never mind. I'm gonna leave that one alone.
He's doing
Anyway,
the show by
fellas,
throwing a soju bottle.
what's wrong with the soju bottle?
You're deep throating it.
There's really no more in here. That's crazy. I gotta get more. Those drinks are fucking incredible, and they hit. They take a bit to hit, but when they hit, and that was just only a quarter of the bottle. It hits. It fucking hits.
Man, you left us for like 2 months and you already turned to the bottle. That's crazy.
Not even. No. I can't. Honestly, I can't see myself like an alcoholic. I can't do it. I don't know. I've grown up. I've back in the day, many of my family members were
Well, you're a
in that
dickaholic.
situation. A dickaholic? Hey, yo, what is going on with you? Is this something you want to tell us? Is this something you want to share that you've been hiding for so long?
Rio coming out of the closet.
I'm coming out. I want the world to know. I can't picture him singing that shit. Oh man, you come out with a fucking tutu. I'm coming out. Nah, you keep that shit over there. Nah, he's not gay. I know he's not gay. Anyway, I'm about to wrap up the show anyway. I will do a round table tomorrow. My wife just went to bed. I think she just went to bed. Yeah, she just went to bed. Anyway, hey, if you guys are up around the time, it'll be 5 to 9. When I do the show in the morning, it'll be 5 to 9 where you guys, so you guys will
Of
like
course
to
you're
catch
gonna
the
be
show.
up.
Yeah, I know you better be up.
All right, peace
Hey,
out,
yo,
nigga.
Skip. Hey, what up, motherfucker? All right, motherfucker. I'll catch you later. I'm sitting here slurring my words. It's time for me to fucking put the soju down. I definitely need to get more bottles tomorrow for sure. But anyway, nah, seriously, I'll catch you guys tomorrow. 5 to 9 on your end, 7 to 10 or 11 on my end. So you guys already know how this works, all
6 to 9
right?
on our end.
Yeah, something like that. I guess you could say that. Yeah, something like that. All right, anyway, peace out. We'll do this again tomorrow. Since you guys want me to do it, I'll do it. So I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. I'll be sober by tomorrow. Hey, yo, what the fuck is doggy style o'clock? That sounds like a good time. Matter of fact, oh shit. It's time to go clap cheeks. Yeah, let me go do that real
Missionary
quick. Doggy style
time.
o'clock.
You're not, you
No,
can't.
I meant military side.
Wow, no, you said missionary time, military time. Man, look at the time. It's not o'clock right now. Yeah, let me hurry up and go ahead and let me go do my thing. All right, anyway, you guys go ahead. I'll catch you tomorrow. We'll do this again next time. Peace out. Later.